Got some bad news for Pete Buttigieg. Some real bad news. Um, Especially if he's considering taking another run at the White House in the 2028 Democratic primary. Uh, the main problem that he ran into with his run uh, in um, in 2020 was that he has no black support. The blacks just don't like him. Don't know why. Well, not say I don't know why. I know why. Most people know why. It's because he's gay. Before anybody freaks the fuck out on me personally, I have made it abundantly clear over the years I don't have a problem with the gays. Gays don't bother me any. One of my closest friends is gay. The guy who red pilled me, who showed me the light, who helped guide me out of being a retarded shit lib, um, is a gay man, and he's like a brother to me, and I love him. So I got no problem with the gays. Gays are fine with me. But and I'm sure I'm even more than willing to like. But for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, the black community has a real problem with homosexuality. I don't know what their problem with it is. Some people would say that's one of the base things about the black community. Whatever, I don't know. But it seems to be that there's a lot of just um, distaste for homosexuals in the black community. And that showed in 2020, and it's showing again now in 2025. It's still years away from the 2028 Democratic presidential primary, but a new poll finds that voters don't see former Vice President Kamala Harris as their top pick. A poll from Emerson College released Friday found that former South Bend Mayor and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is the number one choice for Democratic primary voters in a hypothetical race. When was this written? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, okay, I misunderstood the meaning. I was like, he's not still the transportation secretary. What the hell? But okay, former is covering both. Yeah, both of these titles. So yeah, he could still win the primary. It's possible, but like just because he seems to be the number one pick overall, but it's going to be really hard for him to do it with zero black support. Among respondents who identified as Democratic primary voters, 16% said that they would support Buttigieg, while 13% said they would choose Harris as the nominee. It blows my mind that the Democrat voters are willing to go with Harris again. It's a complete mind blow to me. Like after getting absolutely trounced by Trump, I'm surprised they're not trying to move on to. Well, they are clearly, Mayor Pete or AOC, whatever. But like the fact that Kamala is basically second place in this poll anyway after Pete Buttigieg is a total mind blow to me. But the poll identified a potential problem for Buttigieg when primary time comes. He had 0% support from black voters. There's probably some blacks in the polls in the poll who said they would like him, but it's statistically zero. Like it wasn't enough black voters for it to even register based on the sample size that they used. So again, hashtag not all, but generally speaking, there's I mean, ask gay black men, how their families or their fathers treated them, assuming their fathers were around. Treated them whenever they came out. It's a pretty common story that I've heard from a lot of gay black men that that their families, their fathers, their grandparents, their cousins, whatever, really kind of turn like a lot of the stories you hear about gays being disowned by their families that happen like when they come out of the closet happens a lot with black families. It does. The third most popular pick for Democrats is Governor Gavin Newsom of California. He's probably going to be the guy, to be honest with you. I think that he covers all the bases. Sorry. This isn't the first time Buttigieg has led a 2028 poll of Democratic candidates. A poll released by Atlas Intel on May 30th found Buttigieg as the top candidate among Democratic primary voters. The third most popular pick for Democrats is Governor Gavin Newsom of California at 12%, followed by AOC and Governor Josh Shapiro at 7% each. According to the poll, Senator Bernie Sanders, who ran and lost both 2016 and 2020 Democratic primaries for president, ranked fifth, with 5% of voters saying they would support the 83-year-old senator. He's not. I actually agree that he probably shouldn't even be allowed to run as a Democrat nominee, considering he's not a Democrat Party member. He's an independent. And as they say here, Senator Bernie Sanders, from independent senator from Vermont. So the fact that he runs on the Democrat ticket for president whenever he is not even a member of the party is it's crazy to me. But Democrats are more than willing to break their own rules whenever it suits them. So. While the Emerson poll finds Buttigieg as the front runner in a hypothetical matchup, the largest group of Democrats polled, 23%, were undecided about who they would choose to run for president. Black, high school educated voters back Harris. Shocking absolutely fuck nobody. The candidate who polled the best among black voters is Kamala Harris, with 30.1% of respondents indicating their support for her, according to the poll. Harris also performed well among voters with a high school education or less, with 23.9% of voters in that category backing her more than any other Democratic candidate. Buttigieg, meanwhile, performed best among white voters, 22.1%, and college graduates, 20.1%. He also led among voters who have a vocational or technical school education, 12.7%, among those with an associate degree, 18.5%, and among those with a postgraduate education or higher, 12.7%. Educated people like Mayor Pete. Now, in terms of black voters, the poll found Buttigieg earning 0% support. And again, if you go back and you look at polling data from 2020, he ran into this exact same problem. Now, the Democrats skirted around it. They would never just come right out and say it. But I honestly think the reason why the black community does not support Pete Buttigieg in large numbers, if, statistically zero, is because he's gay. And the black community seems to, generally speaking, hashtag not all, but they do seem to have a problem with homosexuality. It seems to be more prevalent with them than it is with whites. Newsom, the third most popular pick among Democrats, did best among Latino voters, 21.1%. It doesn't shock me. He's the governor of California. And Asian voters, 13.4%, according to the poll. Again, lots of Asians in California, so that doesn't shock me when it comes to Newsom. I really do think that it'll be like Newsom. And in fact, I wouldn't be shocked if it was like Newsom AOC is the ticket that they want to try to put together. Like, nobody's floated that ticket. Like, that hasn't come out in the news. They floated like AOC on one ticket. Well, I seriously would not be shocked if the DNC decided that the move to make in 2028 against JD Vance and whoever he picks as his running mate. I think it'll be Marco Rubio, but it could be a myriad of other people. But I think Marco Rubio is probably the most likely candidate for VP. If they Newsom AOC would probably be the one they would go with. It seems like it kind of covers bases. No, it covers a lot of different bases. You have this, establishment, or not establishment, established governor of California, one of the biggest economies in the world. It doesn't matter that he sucked at it. It's just he's been in charge of California for so long. He's handsome and he's well spoken, so he's good. He checks all the classic politician boxes, and then you make his VP AOC, woman of color, New Yorker. So you got a candidate from each coast, New Yorker and a Californian. Like, I could see like that, like from electoral math, that makes a lot of sense to me. And as much as I hate to admit it, AOC is popular. It's easy for her to get elected and reelected in the particular district that she's running in, but like nationwide, she does have a lot of like support because people like her for some reason, even though she's offensively stupid. And that's the thing. I asked a group of libs one night while I was on Grid One Podcast's Friday night debates. This was probably like about a month ago. I asked them. I was like, guys, I just want to ask you something. Like, I understand the Bernie Sanders support. I personally don't like him, but I get it. Like, I can understand why like Democrats and lefties would kind of rally behind him. But like, I genuinely don't understand the support for AOC. Because she is so, and it's not even because like I understand she says all the right things, but she is so stupid. She's just such an offensively stupid person, and I like how like the Green New Deal was a fucking joke. Like, she can barely string a sentence together without it. Like, she's almost as bad as Kamala Harris when it comes to like whenever she's flying off the cuff. You know what I mean? She's not a smart individual. I think she makes the party look bad, and I'm seriously shocked that she is as popular as she is. Anyway, middle-aged voters like Buttigieg. Younger voters like Ocasio-Cortez. Now, that doesn't shock me at all. Buttigieg also performed best among middle-aged voters. He was the favorite among, boomers and Gen Xers. Or, well, boomers are old now, but Gen Xers. Gen Xers and old millennials. He was the favorite among voters who aged 40 to 49 years old, 15.2%, and those who aged 50 to 59 years old, 21.2%. He was also popular among voters aged 70 and older, 20%. My grandma likes Mayor Pete, so that tracks. Among voters aged 60 to 69, Newsom was the leader, with 18.3% of respondents in that age range supporting the California governor. Among voters aged 18 to 29, Ocasio-Cortez was the most popular choice. That also doesn't shock me. Young people would love AOC, with 22.7% of voters backing the New York Congresswoman. Harris was the most popular among those aged 30 to 39. Of course, middle-aged white women would adore, Kamala Harris, or not middle-aged, but um, adult, awfuls. They of course they would rally behind someone like Kamala Harris. Harris was more popular among those aged 30 to 39, with 18.7 saying they would back her in a presidential campaign. The Emerson College poll was conducted from June 24th to 25th, 2025. There were 404 people who answered the questions about Democrat. Oh, that's a pretty small sample size. I expected it to be larger than that. But yeah, I am curious how many black people got polled. But it does shock me that not. It doesn't shock me. It's probably not that many. But the fact that we would ultimately have to see exactly how many blacks were polled and if literally any of them said they liked him. But when you have a sample size that small, the fact that he got 0% doesn't mean he got statistically zero, that a small handful may have. No, he literally likely got zero black people to say anything, to say that they would vote for him. And I mean, you know, maybe him being gay has nothing to do with it. I don't know. That's what I think. That's an opinion shared by a few people I've talked to. But anyway, interesting story coming out. Bad news from Mayor Pete. Um, Feel free to comment below if you agree or disagree. Tell me how fucking stupid and racist and homophobic I am. By all means, do it. But if you do that or if you don't do that, either way, be sure to smash that like button. And sub, follow the links, sub to all the other channels. Check out my game streams at Clown World Gaming on YouTube and Rumble. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Check out Clown World Chronicles on YouTube and Rumble. Saturday mornings from 8 to 10. And you have yourselves a good day. And throw me a bone. No homo.